Have you ever wondered about the concept of God's grace, what it truly means and how it impacts our lives? Today we're going to ponder on this divine concept, a gift that is both simple yet profound, visible yet invisible, and tangible yet intangible. God's grace is like a gentle breeze that cools the scorching heat of our struggles, a comforting whisper in the midst of our loneliness, and a guiding light in our darkest hours. We often overlook it, but it is always there, quietly working in the background of our lives. It's like a beautiful melody that plays softly, only heard by those who take a moment to truly listen. In this exploration, we will delve into personal stories, anecdotes, and reflections that aim to bring this concept to life, painting a vivid picture of how God's grace touches us in myriad ways. Join us as we delve deeper into personal stories that illustrate the beauty of God's grace. Imagine being at your lowest point, feeling lost and hopeless, and then an unexpected blessing comes your way. Let's take a moment to explore a personal journey. Picture a woman named Sarah. She was a single mother of two, working 2 jobs to make ends meet. Life was a constant struggle, a relentless cycle of exhaustion and worry. One day, Sarah lost her primary job, a blow that sent her spiraling into a pit of despair. She felt lost, like she was trapped in a dark tunnel with no light at the end. One cold December night, just as she was about to give up, something miraculous happened. Sarah received a phone call. On the other side was a voice from her past, an old friend who had heard about her situation. This friend, a successful business owner, offered Sarah a position in her company, a position that paid well, offered flexible hours, and even provided childcare facilities. Now, was this a mere coincidence? Or was it an unexpected blessing, a manifestation of God's grace? You see, God's grace isn't always about grand miracles that part seas or move mountains. Sometimes it's about these small, seemingly insignificant moments that transform our lives when we least expect it. It's about receiving blessings when we are at our lowest, when we've lost all hope, when we're convinced that the night couldn't possibly get any darker. That's the beauty of God's grace. It doesn't wait for us to clean up our act or get our lives together. It doesn't demand that we be perfect or worthy. It simply shows up, unannounced, in the middle of our mess, turning our despair into hope, our tears into laughter, our darkness into light. Sarah's story is a testament to this. It's a testament to the unexpected blessings that God's grace can bring into our lives, often just when we need them the most. So remember, even when life seems unbearable, when you feel lost and alone, don't lose hope. Keep your heart open, because you never know when or how God's grace might show up. God's grace can indeed be an unexpected blessing, turning our darkest hour into a moment of light. Scene script. Picture a situation where you've made a mistake, yet you're forgiven and given a second chance. Imagine you're in a quiet town, a place where everyone knows everyone. It's the kind of place where secrets don't stay hidden for long. You're the town librarian, a role you've held with pride for over 2 decades. But one day, you make an error. You mismanage the library's funds, and suddenly, the library is on the brink of closure. The mistake is yours, and you expect the worst. The townspeople are understandably upset, and you brace yourself for the backlash. You've let down the community, the very people you've served for so long. The guilt is overwhelming, and you're ready to face the consequences. But then, something unexpected happens. One by one, the townspeople step forward. They don't shout, they don't blame, they don't demand your resignation. Instead, they offer to help. They organize fundraisers, donate books, and volunteer their time to keep the library doors open. You're stunned. This is not what you expected. You made a mistake, a big one, and yet here they are, offering you forgiveness and a second chance. This is God's grace in action. It's unmerited favor, a kindness bestowed when we least deserve it. It's forgiveness when we expect punishment, a helping hand when we're prepared to fall. It's the townspeople rallying to save the library, despite the librarian's mistake. God's grace is not something we earn or deserve. It's a gift freely given, often when we least expect it. It's a second chance, a fresh start, a way to right our wrongs and move forward. It's the unexpected blessing in the midst of our mistakes. No matter the size of our error, the depth of our guilt, or the magnitude of our failure, God's grace is there, ready to lift us up and set us back on our feet. It's an unmerited favor, a testament to the boundless love and compassion of God. God's grace indeed shows up as unmerited favor, showing us kindness when we least deserve it. And imagine being in a situation where you feel weak and incapable, but then you find a strength you didn't know you had. Let's journey with Marian, a woman just like you and me. Marian was a single mother battling a chronic illness. She found herself in a situation where she was emotionally, physically, and even financially drained. She felt weak and incapable of managing the mounting pressures of life. Her situation seemed insurmountable. Yet, in the midst of her trials, a glimmer of hope sparked within her. She began to realize that the very weakness she was grappling with was leading her to discover a strength she didn't know she had. This was not a strength born of human effort or determination. No, this was something far more profound. This was a strength born of grace. Marian began to see that her weakness was not a barrier to overcome, but a bridge to a deeper understanding of herself and her faith. Her weakness was not a sign of defeat, but a testament to her resilience and her capacity to endure. She discovered that in her most vulnerable moments, she was not alone. She was accompanied by an unseen yet palpable force, guiding her, comforting her, empowering her. This force, this divine companionship, was God's grace. It was a grace that didn't remove her struggles, but gave her the strength to face them. It was a grace that didn't promise an easy journey, but assured her that she was never alone in her battles. It was a grace that transformed her weakness into strength, her despair into hope, her tears into joy. Through her journey, Marian learned an invaluable lesson. She learned that God's grace is not just about blessings we can see and touch. It's about the inner strength we gain when we face our trials with faith and resilience. It's about the comfort we feel when we know we're not alone in our struggles. It's about the hope that lights our path, even in the darkest of nights. God's grace can indeed give us strength in our weakness, helping us to overcome even the most challenging situations. Reflecting on these stories, we can see the varied manifestations of God's grace. It's like a multifaceted diamond, each side reflecting a different aspect of the divine, yet all part of the same precious gem. Let's take a moment to retrace our steps. We began our journey recognizing God's grace as an unexpected blessing. It's the sunbeam breaking through the storm clouds, the helping hand when we least anticipate it. As we navigate the tumultuous seas of life, these unexpected blessings serve as divine reminders that we are not alone. Then, we explored the concept of grace as an unmerited favor. It's the love and mercy granted to us not because we have earned it, but because God is a benevolent giver. It's the fresh start after a fall, the second chance when we've lost our way. This unmerited favor is a testament to God's boundless love and mercy, demonstrating that grace isn't about what we've done, but who God is. And finally, we delved into the paradox of finding strength in weakness through God's grace. It's the courage that surges within us when we feel we can't go on, the resilience that springs forth in our most vulnerable moments. This strength in weakness reminds us that even in our frailty, we are not powerless. Through grace, our weaknesses become conduits for God's power. In essence, God's grace is a divine tapestry woven into our lives. It's the unexpected blessings that surprise us, the unmerited favor that uplifts us, and the strength in our weakness that empowers us. Each thread contributes to the larger picture, painting a portrait of a life touched by the divine. God's grace is always present, always guiding us, and always providing for us. It is a gift to be cherished and appreciated. It's a whisper in the wind, a beacon in the dark, an anchor in the storm. And as we journey through life, may we never forget the grace that carries us, shapes us, and ultimately defines us.